safe sanitation and hygiene is crucial in preventing pandemics like COVID-19, the first line of defense against most infections is hand washing. Experts around the world tell us that it saves lives. This becomes more imperative for any infection or disease transmitted by contact, whether human to human or human to surface. And right now, hand washing is key in the fight against the coronavirus.
Do you feel that the corona situation, the pandemic, has raised awareness that India needs much more medical expenditure, medical care?
First, I should say the government acted quickly. Whatever they thought was necessary, putting the controls, bringing back the essential equipment like PPPs and all of these, and then they geared up the healthcare community, the public healthcare. I must admire them, the doctors, the nurses, the paramedics, the whole lot. And the private healthcare, we also joined them and did whatever we could in each and every respect, because none of us were prepared for this. And the results are shown. Initial mortalities were close to 3%. Now all, whether it's private or public, the mortality figures have dropped below 1.7, 1.5.
You have been very passionate about the cause of water and sanitation for years now, over a decade actually. Do you think that the Swachh Bharat mission has been one of our strongest tools to fight the coronavirus?
Ambika, you have hit the nail on the head. I mean, if you think about what the communication has been on the Swachh Bharat mission, it is not just about going to the toilet or building a toilet. It's been about hygiene, and it's about washing hands and clean habits. And we have had very large campaigns, whether from the government or from the India Sanitation Coalition, which I work with, on communicating exactly this, the hygiene that comes from washing your hands, keeping your environment clean. And by doing this, I think if we can renew that same communication and not just revel in the success that the Swachh Bharat mission brought in this regard, take us right back to doing what we must to keep our immunity up by keeping our hygiene clean.
So much has changed in the last 6 months. A lot of learning and a lot of de-learning. So where are we at now?
This is all about preparedness. It's about human resources, but it's also about infrastructure, capacity, surveillance, the ability to look at data and make local decisions. So all that is public health preparedness. And I think on the other side is individuals and people. You know, how much people's behavior really can affect health outcomes. For example, we've seen that normally you would have a big influenza season in the southern hemisphere because their winter is in our summer. This year, there's been hardly any flu. That's probably because people were maintaining physical distance, using hand hygiene and masking.
We have a toilet warrior, Mark, with us here today. You've been visiting India, Mark, for a while now, and you've done some amazing work and you have some great projects underway.
So I started coming to India on business about 10 years ago, and about 8 years ago I was on a train in Mumbai, and a couple of young men approached me and we started chatting, and they invited me to visit their community. They lived in Dharavi. They took me to a school in Dharavi, and the first thing I noticed were there were no teenage girls in the school. They had all dropped out because there were no toilets in the school. Yes. So we started out with an idea, let's put 15 toilets into a school near Nasik. The school had 500 kids. And this thing started to grow, and that's like 5 years ago. In the 5 years since, we've now reached 100,000 kids plus. The most important part of our project is teaching people the necessary behavior changes to help them improve their future opportunities, and particularly starting with kids.
Ravi, first of all, I would come here, I would like to ask you, tell us about the hygiene index. In fact, even the hygiene bond, it's just been over a year when you all have launched it. Just tell us about it, please.
Thank you so much. It's a great privilege to come back on the show, and this is a very, very special day. And on the same day last year, we made our commitment to launch the Dettol Hygiene Impact Bond. And I'm very proud to say, we have averted more than 7,000 deaths arising out of diarrhea in the period of 1 year. And there were more than around 11,000 plus kids who were seriously critical. So we made them reach to the private and the public healthcare facilities. So to us, the bond is working perfectly fine.
We have been partnering with NDTV and RB on this program for the last couple of years. We have been instrumental in actually creating the hygiene impact, the whole measurement systems, and then tracking the 25 cities that Ravi mentioned. Our role primarily has been to craft the program, monitor the program, and also give the kind of measurement and statistics and advice to these cities so that they could improve.
Ma'am, what is USAID's strategy on health and water sanitation and hygiene, which is in abbreviation WASH?
Ashwajit, let me come to you and ask you, we're always talking about behavior change. What is a behavior nudge and how can we really bring about that change, especially in communities?
There are three aspects to what really needs to be done for getting around behavior change. First of all, that whatever we take up for doing towards changing behavior, that should be easy to understand. It should be easy to absorb. The changes that we are required to bring about should be easy for the person who's doing it to understand and be able to do it. Now, there's no point in going and asking for major changes without people having infrastructure or asking people to wash hands in a slum where there's no water. The second and perhaps the most important thing is it's all about communication at the end of the day to be able to bring forth this change.
ये अगला प्रश्न मैं इमाम साहब से पूछना चाहूँगा। इमाम साहब, आपको क्या लगता है कि मदरसे के पाठ्यक्रम में साफ सफाई होना चाहिए?
हमने इस कैंपेन में मदरसों के अंदर जाकर जब इस मिशन को, इस काम को शुरू किया था, तो मदरसों के बच्चों को बड़ी हैरानी हुई थी, क्योंकि मदरसों में इस तरह का कोई कैंपेन नहीं चला था, ख़ास तौर पे स्कूलों में चलते थे। तो उससे एक बड़ा प्रभाव पहुंचा कि बच्चों के अंदर एक जागरूकता पैदा हुई। तो मैं समझता हूं कि अब हम अपने इस करिकुलम को डिजिटल करके स्मार्ट क्लासेस के ज़रिए से भारत के 7.5 लाख मदरसों तक अगर हम पहुंचाएंगे तो मुझे लगता है कि इसका बहुत प्रभाव होगा और एक बच्चों को डिजिटल दुनिया से जुड़ने का मौका मिलेगा।
मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहता हूं कि सेवा भाव, ये सिख धर्म में हम देखते हैं कि गुरुद्वारे में लंगर हो, एक ये ऐसा जज्बात है जो कि बच्चों को बहुत जल्दी ही सिखाया जाता है। हाइजीन को लेकर के, साफ सफाई को लेकर के यही सेवा का भाव लाना कितना जरूरी है सिरसा जी?
सबसे जरूरी आज यही भाव है। हमें तो गुरु साहिबान ने यहाँ तक समझाया और यहाँ तक कहा, सुच होवे ता सच पाइए। अगर परमात्मा को भी पाना है तो भी आपको सुच होना है, साफ होना है। अब देखिए आज जो हो रहा है पर्यावरण के साथ, वो क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि हमारा अहंकार, इंसान का अहंकार रूप जो गंदगी है वो बहुत बड़ी हो गई है। देश के अंदर दिल्ली सिख गुरुद्वारा मैनेजमेंट कमेटी अकेला ऐसे इंस्टीट्यूशन है जिसने ये तय किया है कि अगर हमारे 4 यूनिवर्सिटी के कॉलेज हैं, इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज हैं, अगर हमारे यहाँ पे आपको पढ़ना है, मेरिट से एडमिशन होगी 97% मार्क्स वाले की, पर हर बच्चे को 10 पेड़ लगाने होंगे। इस पर्यावरण को बचाने के लिए उनको आगे आना होगा।
I know that you teach hygiene and subjects around that at a very early age, and that is the secret, right? Start early, isn't it?
I think right from the beginning of the pandemic, when everything was closed and we knew that nothing would open fast, we began to have sort of webinars for the youth, for children, for parents, and we taught them about hygiene. We taught them how to wear masks and to wash their hands and to keep safe distance, because we realized that the vaccine will not come soon, and in a way we'll have to live with this pandemic, and therefore we would have to take measures where we would not be contaminated by this virus.
At a time like this, Swamiji, it's important that everybody comes together. We're constantly saying that we cannot fight this huge battle as a divided society.
Togetherness is the key in the 21st century, and especially today when we are facing this COVID-19 problem. I think we are the solution. If we are all together, solution is there. And that's why I can see what you are doing is amazing. तो body, mind और soul जब तीनों का alignment होगा ना, तभी ये हेल्थ मंत्र बन जाएगा। अगर हम सभी धर्मों को साथ लेकर आएंगे तो हमारा भारत स्वस्थ रहेगा, हमारा पूरा विश्व स्वस्थ रहेगा।
Ms. Hassan, we believe you've been involved in raising awareness around coronavirus and wearing masks. Your experience?
Yeah, it's been quite challenging. The first half of it was me in isolation. And I think getting back into the world around people, and now I'm on a movie set as well. So I think safety precautions and, everyone taking individual responsibility for the collective safety is really important.
Mr. Tamang, thank you so much. I want to ask you, Sikkim was very quick out of the gates in proactively countering the virus. Till May, you had no cases. Your lockdown began before the rest of India's tourists were kept out till September. But this must have come at a cost for the state.
सबसे चैलेंजिंग पॉइंट हमारा है, हमारा स्टेट एक टूरिज्म स्टेट है। हमारा टूरिज्म हमारा बैकबोन है। तो ये लॉकडाउन के कारण जो टूरिज्म सेक्टर में जो नुकसान हुआ है वो बहुत सा नुकसान हुआ। लेकिन एक आप लोगों को मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि इतना 6 महीना हो गया लॉकडाउन, और जितना भी लॉकडाउन हुआ मार्च से, लेकिन हम लोग ने हमारा जितना भी फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनीज था यहाँ पर, तो फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनीज फैक्ट्री एक दिन भी बंद नहीं हुआ।
Dr. Harshvardhan, October the 2nd, 2020 marks the 6th anniversary of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. How important or relevant is this today when we are in the middle of a pandemic?
The Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is of utmost relevance today, when the world is convulsing in the grip of a dangerous pandemic like COVID-19. In fact, the pandemic has given a fresh and renewed momentum to Mahatma Gandhi ji's vision of a clean India. During the COVID times, we have learnt that cleanliness in the form of clean washed hands, respiratory hygiene and etiquettes, as well as clean and sanitized surroundings are the only protection we have.
Madam Shailja, after your initial success, Kerala was that sunshine state which was able to contain the virus, at least initially, especially because of its learning from Ebola. But Kerala is now witnessing a second wave, and a very strong one at that, as far as COVID cases are concerned. Ms. Shailja, what happened?
Yes, we anticipated the second rise, but after the lifting of the lockdown, the system changed completely. I think Kerala is having one of the longest drawn epidemic in the world, and in India also. The first case in Kerala occurred at January 30th, and that is the first part, that is in January. And from up to May 3rd, we have 499 cases, and in that 33% is locally transmitted, and we cured all except 3, and the mortality rate at that time is 0.5. Our strategy is, the first one is to trace, quarantine, when test, isolate and treat. And the second is to break the chain, to contain the spreading of the virus. And the fourth one is reverse quarantine, to protect the most vulnerable people from the virus.